Hey guys, welcome back to one of my videos and the 90-day challenge. If you can't see from the title already, we're talking about everything AI. Now today we're going to specifically talk about AI tools for programming because as you know, I am a programmer myself and let's see how scary these things are. Now, what I'm gonna do today is introduce 3 AI tools that I think is relevant and popular in the programming field currently. And I thought that it would be a pretty cool project for me to basically try out these 3 AI tools that I'm going to talk about and see how well they can replicate what I already have in my personal website. After that, I'm going to talk about how it can affect the future of software development. And I don't know, maybe you guys are scared about it taking over your jobs. Well, let's just say I do not think so. So let's just talk a bit about AI. Artificial intelligence, it has come a long way in the recent years. If you haven't heard about ChatGPT and how Microsoft is going to incorporate it into Bing search, well, you're a bit behind. But basically, their ability to analyze so much data and learn from these data to produce useful things for us is what it basically does. So then now it allows programmers to basically automate repetitive tasks that maybe no one likes doing and allows us to code more efficiently and faster and basically leading towards a more reliable, faster development of anything. So let's get a closer look into our 3 AI tools. Now, the first one is going to be Tabnine. Tabnine, if you haven't known already, is an AI auto-completion tool. So what it does is basically try to predict what you're going to type next. So if you were to be typing, I don't know, print hello, maybe it'll just predict world and then all the syntax things. Now that's just a very basic example. And the more you type, the better the prediction gets because it'll know from what you actually use, it'll learn itself. It's an AI. That's the whole point. Now, Tabnine does have a free tier and a paid tier. I'm gonna only be using the free tier to test it out on my personal website, but overall, it does support over 50 programming languages, so whatever you're using, they probably got it. It can be used with most popular code editors such as Visual Studio Code, which is what I'm gonna use, Atom, Sublime Text, and a lot more. So let's see how well it programs my website. Okay, so I did open up a code and here is the original design. All I'm gonna do is ask it to make a navigator bar. So I've written this prompt: create a navigator bar component with 4 fields: home, blog, photos, and socials with inline CSS. Now I'm gonna say that create a navigator component with 4 fields. Create a navigator bar component at the top right corner with 4 fields: home, blog. So let's start with that. So right now I have Tabnine enabled. But the thing with Tabnine is that it can only do inline. So do have an option to do this. We can also look at the different choices. So let's just say we want to only import React because I don't want to have to install all of the other ones. So this is what we're gonna go with. So I'm just gonna skip over this part. Basically, it gives us this whole chunk of code and I'm just gonna show you the final products because that's just me talking nonsense. Well, you can see we don't actually get any of the CSS, we just get all of this code and we don't know where it's pulled from. So let's see how it looks like. So here we have, I guess, just a list of basically a list for the navigator. I don't know why there is a navigator bar, but then again, that is because I just randomly tabbed the whole thing. But in general, you gotta be careful when you're just tapping away at this thing. So I would definitely say it's helpful in that you do get all of these. But moving on. Now, second up, we have GitHub Copilot. Now, GitHub Copilot is, from name, is by GitHub, and it's basically a partnership with OpenAI and GitHub. They use powerful deep learning to generate code, and it basically has access to like most GitHub repositories, and that's where it's learning its data. Now, for GitHub Copilot, you can just like write a comment saying like, "Oh, can you make a button that when you click it, it opens another window?" And then it'll just generate this whole function for you. It can also do like lines of code, but like that is another tool that makes it more powerful compared to Tabnine, and probably save you a lot of time if it's just like simple things like these. Now, another thing that GitHub Copilot can do is, since it can read your files, it can integrate it with something you already wrote. So if there's a function you wrote in another file and they think that you should use it in this current function that you want to use, then it'll probably use it. Now, depending on how specific your comments are, then the better the results you get. Usually you want to be more specific if you already have like something in mind, but if you're just trying to start out a base and then edit from there, then I guess a general comment won't hurt. Now let's see how that goes on our website. Okay, so now this is what we had from before. Let's go ahead and delete all of it and basically reuse the same prompt and see what we can get. So here, let's just use the GitHub Copilot and see what we can do with it. So when you do Control Enter on a commented line, it'll actually go look for solutions on what you can do. And let's just wait till it finishes all the solutions, and then we'll go ahead and look at a few. Okay, so now we have a navigator bar, we have a home, we technically don't need the app because you already have that. As you can see here, it does tell you like this is supposed to go into app. So let's just put it in and see what happens. So for the purpose of this video, I'll just quickly go do those and make sure all the files are there. So now we got... Okay, so home and navigator bar are actually the same thing. So I'm guessing we can just actually go ahead and delete one of them. Here we go. And delete home from the home page. And there we have it. We have home, blog, photo, socials. Last but not least, we have Codex, which is another AI-powered tool. Now, it is developed by OpenAI, which is similar to what I said about GitHub Copilot. But other than that, it's basically like a personal AI assistant, which is more related to programming. It can answer questions, it can suggest code snippets, it can also write entire function blocks like GitHub Copilot. It is available through like OpenAI API, and it can be integrated with basically most programming languages and editors. One thing about Codex is that it can also help you with more complex tasks like neural network training and natural language processing. So if you're trying to write some code for machine learning, you may think that Codex is the one to go. But today we're not writing some machine learning code, but we're just gonna test it out with my personal website regardless. So the last AI tool we'll be using is called OpenAI Codex. Now, you actually need to use an API key, but I don't have that set up in my Visual Studio Code. If you want to use it, there are definitely instructions on here on how to use it. But for now, I'll just be using the web page and basically just copy and pasting this in here. Okay, so this is looking pretty good to me actually. It's pretty simple, doesn't require too much stuff. Well, here we have it. I guess it did get like the top right corner, but it says navigator bar, which I do not know why. Let's just go and delete that. Oh, I see. Okay. I guess it's relying on this navigator bar text to push it all the way to the right, which is really funny. And it did randomly just decide on these colors. Not that I have anything against it, but again, these are not clickable. You would have to make that yourself. So obviously this is not complete code. It's not gonna run perfectly the first time, so don't be worried about AI taking over your jobs. Now, last but not least, after looking through how powerful these AI tools are, you're probably wondering, like, what's the impact of these AI tools on software development? Well, there are definitely benefits, and those are like they can save you so much time and make you code so much faster. It can reduce all the like repetitive small things that no one likes doing because you can just ask it to do it. And it can also help you write better quality code and probably prevent bugs and errors because you know that they're analyzed so many data, they probably got the good ones. Now, there's obviously some like security issues that can pop up, and SQL injections, those issues might occur. So you will still have to be pretty careful when using them. So those are some of the drawbacks of using it. But I think that generally speaking, you have to still be able to understand the code before being able to use these AI tools. It's not like a person, like a stranger, if they wanted to create something, they just type all of these. If they don't understand what the code is doing, it might be doing something wrong. So in that sense, I don't think software developers are like literally out of the role, but the role of software developers are definitely changing. And these are more tools to assist us rather than replace us, because there's no way that the AI will know if like this whole thing will work with whatever else you got, because software developers, they face different problems every single day, and not one solution will fix it all. Now, there you have it. Let me know your thoughts on how you think AI tools will change software developing and whether you're gonna be trying out one of them and using it in your workspace. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe so that I know you guys like this content and to continue making maybe more AI related tools in the future. I know I said I'm doing like theme of the week kind of thing, but after my 90-day challenge, I will look into which ones are more popular and then continue posting content on those. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Peace. 먹고 싶어 빨리 정해줘 나 빠르게 갈게 within 천에게